Want candy now?
What is going on, everybody? Nasdorachi coming back at you again today with another episode for Dragon Ball Legends, and we do have a fairly big update to cover today. Of course, all of the stuff that was teased with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Super BUU is now live, so we're definitely going to be checking out that banner, analyzing the characters really quickly, and doing some summons. But before we jump into that, there's a couple of other cool little freebies and things to take note of, and we're going to jump in and cover everything again as quickly as we can. So that's what's going to be in the video for you guys today. We are going to, again, briefly shoot through the news here. Starting from the bottom, there was an end of maintenance notice. The maintenance was delayed about 20 or 30 minutes. Check your gift box. They should have sent out some apology crystals. The in-game issues and the bug fix are both for stuff like errors with text on Ribrianne or stuff not showing up when you purchase it in the Trunks Legends Road event, which they have extended by 6 days or a week basically. So that's really cool as well, that extension on that, because I definitely wasn't finished with that. I wish they had extended the Cell event also. But new story has also been added in part 4, so we'll get to see that push forward. The last story update, of course, came with Shallot's 4th star upgrade to his mastery stars or his dupes, even though you don't actually have to pull him. So we're now pushing on past that, and there are hints that Shallot may be going Super Saiyan 2 soon. I'm not going to spoil any of the story, but that's something that you guys will probably want to check out as well. If for nothing else, then the free Chrono Crystals. I've kind of been bankrolling story stages, so I'll have some rainy day crystals. But it is about time to catch up on that. Of course, again, they have extended Legends Road Hope, and with the Ultra Space Time Rush, they've reset that again, so all your progress has been reset. They've now added a 5th stage to the rush as well. I know that the 4th stage was more color focused than just being outright straight up difficult. I'm assuming the new 5th stage might be slanted towards a different color than what stage 4 was, but in due time we'll have to check all that out. There's just so much PvE stuff going on right now. If you want to farm PvP, it's hard to keep up with all the PvE, and I've been trying to play more PvP personally, but we won't go into too much of that right now. There is a special login bonus going on, so every day. Of course, we're pretty familiar with stuff like this, with these daily login bonuses, but just extra free goodies when you go to log in. And the Yamcha event is here. There is a Sparking Yamcha, very trolly character, similar to Hercule, but of course he's functionally way different. But we can check him out very briefly also. It's basically like the event from Valentine's Day where Majin Buu and you had to farm all the chocolates and candies. Kind of similar to that, mixed with like Legends Road. It's basically like another Legends Road event with an exchange shop. There's an equipable item for Shallot, the special Z Power, and special Rising and Super Souls for Yamcha. Other energy tickets and stuff you can get from there also. So it's basically like a Legends Road that's watered down a little bit to be similar to the Valentine's Day event. There's also a special challenge where you have to do the challenge battle every day, get as many home runs as you can. If you can get 200 home runs, which is basically just using his green card, which is the only card it gives you in the final battle, so not too hard to do, but there is a special title that you can get for doing that. The Happy Week here, 4 campaigns underway. There's going to be double EXP, I think it's the half training time, more rewards, boosted this, boosted that. You can basically see it all right there in the middle of the screen with double XP, 5 times Zenny, stuff like that, adventure times cut in half. And yeah, they basically want you to get a bunch of resources in case you pull some of the new units, and as well to level up Yamcha. Special sales going on, nothing out of the ordinary, very similar to the sales that they generally throw out. And then of course we have the big money banner right here. So I think I've covered all of just the general news updates. Let's actually jump in and check out the Yamcha really quickly. He's a very interesting character. Again, his stats aren't super competitive, but he's got some quirky mechanics, and this is the only character we're going to check out like this. if you just do the 4 stages in the event, you will get 100 Z power, the Yamcha, for free. So it's not like Legends Road in that sense where you don't even get the card until you've grinded a decent little bit. They will, again, just straight up give him to you for finishing out the 4th stage. So that's something that's pretty cool and good to know. You do have his Magic Spirit Ball on his blue card. Very cool that he's got the ball that he controls telekinetically. Major impact damage and destroys all of your enemy's strike cards on hit. Pretty good, not bad for a blue card at all. Main ability, Home Run Declaration, special arts card, so he'll be drawing a green card next, which is his counter mechanic. It functions almost identically to Janemba's, and that's how you're going to build his stacks to unleash his ultimate passive here. So main ability gives you a green card, changes your strike cards cost for the enemies to 99 for 9 timer counts. So again, very similar to Hercule, where his main ability changes all yellow cards to 99. Yamcha's does the same, but for red cards. Unlock Form of Slugging, special skill. The green card counter will activate upon enemy's tap shot or blast arts attack. Again, identical to Janemba's counter in that sense. It increases his home run count by 1 once the counter is activated. His Z ability buffs Super Warrior's max base health up to, I think, a maximum of 20% when he's fully starred up. And then we get to his main unique ability right here, the thing that really makes this card unique, special, and potentially fun to use. There's going to be coming back hot, or it's going to be coming back hot, sorry. The following effects occur according to the character's home run count. If you have 1 card, basically 1 counter, increases arts card draw speed by 1 level. 2 counters, inflicts the enemies with a tribute downgrade plus 5 to their strike arts cost. If you have 3 counter tokens, you'll have 50% to own critical rate. 4 counter tokens, increases arts card draw speed by 1 level again. 5 counter tokens, inflicts all enemies with a tribute downgrade plus 5 to strike arts card cost again. 6 tokens, 50% to own crit rate again. And 7 tokens, you get 100% to your Rising Rush damage inflicted and automatically gain 7 Dragon Balls. Very weird, very quirky mechanic, and relatively hard yet easy to use at the same time. Just depends on the enemy you're up against and how skilled they might happen to be. The game-changing home run, this is basically a modifier to the passive, which basically says that the amount of enemies you've defeated determines how quickly you'll build the counters for his home run passive. If you've defeated 1, you'll get an additional counter. If 2 characters have been defeated and it's like a 1v1 situation, or I guess 1 character maybe from their team and maybe 1 from your team, it's kind of worded weird here. It doesn't specify whether it's your team or the enemy team. So I guess whether 2 characters are defeated period, he'll start getting +3 on his stacks every time he counters. So again, this passive will just help accelerate how much you can build up to these 7 cards here. And there's no timers or any kind of indication that this all resets. So I don't know if you'll be able to do it again after you've done it once or whatnot. But everything on this seems permanent, you guys. So we'll have to play test him a little bit and figure that out. But again, his stats, not very competitive. Basically on par with Hercule, a little bit better in some areas. But he's all about his quirky mechanics there. And he says some funny stuff. You can get a costume again for Shallot from his event too. I wonder if it's the baseball uniform. Got these 2 pieces of equipment here. For purple units, base strike attack up to 13%, blast defense and blast attack up to 15%. This is actually really good for the new Majin Buu unit that just came out. So not bad at all there. Today's the day you pay for yellow units, strike defense, blast, and strike attack. This would be good for Cell, possibly the new Slug there, but actually reasonably good equipment. There's a picture of the title you can get if you get to the 200 home runs, and these are all of the equipments that you'll be farming, basically like the chocolates from the previous event. That's basically it from Yamcha here. We can just, again, briefly look at stuff over here really quickly. He'll be right here, and then that's basically all there is for now, you guys. So get the Yamcha, you'll farm his stuff up, go over to the exchange shop, and if you're familiar with the Legends Road exchange shops, there's nothing out of the ordinary here. Of course, you'll just scroll down. There's the equipments right there. And then the customizable stuff for Shallot is down here. The enemy tickets. Whoa, there's a bat and there's a costume. That's interesting. So there's a gi and a bat for Shallot, I guess. That's pretty awesome right there. Way you can troll Shallot up a little bit. But yeah, you guys, again, very similar to Legends Road. Not going to spend too much more time on that. We want to keep pushing forward here, you guys. So Ultra Space Time Rush, this will be new in here as well. After 4, there'll be a 5. Again, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of PvE, but we'll get to that one day here soon. That's about all there is on that end with Yamcha and the stuff going on over there. At this point, we can jump in and check out the new banner with the really spicy juiciness that I would love to acquire both of these characters personally. So definitely spicy here. Of course, the 999 gimmick is back. You'll have the regular banner right here as well. We can hop in, just start with a daily, and then we'll check the characters out here. I did hit downloading all, so there will be surprises if we're going to get something good. We won't know ahead of time necessarily, but I don't know. I don't know how my luck is going to go, honestly, you guys. It could really go either way. We got an instant Super Saiyan right there. But luck could go either way. I did 2 pulls on the ladies banner. Didn't really get anything at all. This looks like an EX card. And, ooh, that's new for me. Okay, I'll take it. Bay Khalifa right there. Looking good on the card art. Did not have her, so I'm starting out somewhat strong, I guess. But let's check out the characters here really quickly. We do have the Gotenks and the Super BUU as the 2 highlight characters. Returning Fat BUU, he's at 4 stars for me, so I could use one of him. Returning Super Saiyan Gotenks as a support for the Super Saiyan 3. It makes sense, but I already have him at 5 stars, so that's kind of painful. I would have rather seen pretty much anyone else, like even, I don't know, Zamasu would have been great, but he wouldn't have made sense on the banner. Kid Trunks right here, not a super functional unit right now, but good bench support for hybrids. I also have him at 4 stars, so I could use one of him. And then we have the 2 money characters here. Checking out their stats, strike attack is pretty good. Blast attack is also relatively good. Gotenks is a defense type here, which is fairly interesting, but packs 2 red cards and has, of course, the fusions, the hybrid Saiyans tag. Those are going to be his most relevant tags. Fusion Warrior as well. So, yeah, those are definitely going to be the teams to build around, either hybrids or fusion with this Gotenks here. And his health is a little bit low. His Z ability does help cover that, but still, it's going to be somewhat of a concern. You're not going to want Gotenks to take too much of a beating. Even though his defensive stats are really good, the lower health kind of, you know, it's a small point of concern for a defensive unit to have health that low, but I guess, I don't know, he's a little kid, so maybe it makes sense. Die Missile Barrage, major explode damage, reduces enemy ki by 50 on hit. That's a theme we're going to see on this banner with the new Super BUU as well. Ki reduction, so pretty good utility. A little bit better than Slug's Darkness Twin Star, which is 40 ki lost, but that also has a paralyzed chance. Gotenks, of course, will be making up with that ultimate arts technique, which we'll get to in a second. Green card immobilizes the enemy on hit. This is great for canceling out super moves, rising rushes, and other kind of technical plays there. Very useful. Inflicts the enemy with a tribute downgrade, minus 70% to ki recovery for 10 timer counts on hit, but the enemy can sub out of that. So you'll basically not be taking as much use of that necessarily as you will just the stun itself, unless you're down to a 1v1 situation. You have the Charging Ultra BUU Volleyball, or just, I guess, the Super Galactic Donuts. Deal major explode damage. The following effects occur based on the number of battle members. If you have 1, you have 10% chance to faint. 2, you have 30% chance to faint. And 3, 75% chance to faint. That's almost a guaranteed faint. 3 out of 4 chance for faint to go off. Now, that is pretty overpowered. One Hand Spirit Bomb Goku, only other character in the game that has a faint chance this high. His is gated behind using 2 green cards back to back, but it is repeatable. Whereas Gotenks here, it just encourages you to use his ultimate arts early on, so you get that volley into the spike with the additional faint chance. But you can only do it once, it's not repeatable. So it's a one-shot, one-off. Still extremely powerful, but that's its drawback. If you miss with the Ultimate Arts technique, you're SOL on that front. Main ability, of course, will draw the Ultimate Arts, and it doesn't do anything else whatsoever, no buffs or any other passives on it, but you can use it after 20 timer counts. Generally, Ultimate Arts are 25-second timer count for the most part, so that's pretty cool there. Of course, he's a Fusion Warrior or Hybrid Saiyan if you get him to 5 stars, max base health buffer, and that's pretty cool. The Kid Gohan already does this for Hybrid Saiyan, so you won't necessarily want to bench him on the team for that if you already have Kid Gohan highly starred, but for the Fusion Warriors, he fills the yellow unit niche that they needed. He fills a defensive role, I suppose, even though he doesn't have too many defensive abilities. He still fills that role, and he gives health back to Fusion, so he was definitely needed there. Unique ability, Crazy Strong. 30% to damage inflicted from battle start for 45 timer counts. One of the 3 following effects will activate every time he enters the battlefield. Minus 10 to his red card cost for 10 seconds or 10 timer counts. 30% to key recovery for 10 timer counts. And 30% to own vanishing gauge recovery. Again, mostly offensive buffs for a defensive unit, which is pretty interesting, but I'll take it. It's better than a defensive unit, I guess, who can't really do any damage at all. Cover, sustain damage cut. Here's where the defense comes in. Reduce damage received by 40% until combo ends when changing cover. 50% to strike damage inflicted for 10 timer counts when this passive activates. And it adds some time to his substitution count. So still, even though he's got a 40% cover damage reduction, it's going to be an offensive buff on there as well. So not quite as defensive even in his defensiveness. I don't know, this is somewhat awkward, but still very functional. He's just going to get decimated by Rildo. None of his defensive qualities are going to come into play. From the damage cut, that'll be useless as well. So be careful when squaring up to potential Rildos. Of course, as well, your perfect cells that have the damage cut reduction. So he definitely has some weaknesses, but still quite a good character. Very functional, very strong kit for a defensive unit. Next up here, we have the new Sparking BUU, and I'm just not showing off all their special moves and stuff because I put out a video yesterday that showed it all off, so let's just keep moving forward. Very good blast and strike attack for being a ranged unit. His damage numbers there are almost the same. His health also a tiny bit low, but he is a very offensive powerhouse unit, basically. I mean, it makes more sense for him to have a little bit lower health comparatively to Gotenks, who's a defensive unit. But then again, he is also BUU, who's, you know, known for regenerating and being tough to kill. But this is a more offensive version of BUU. Packs a red and a yellow. He's absorption and regeneration tagged. Nothing out of the ordinary on his normal cards. Assault Rain here deals major pierce damage and inflicts the enemy with a tribute downgrade, minus 30% to key recovery for 15 timer counts on hit. Not quite as good as Gotenks, and also this can be subbed out of unless you're down to the 1v1 situation. Vice Shout, very similar to Gotenks, immobilizes the enemy on hit and afflicts them with plus 25% to damage received for 15 timer counts. Also, they're able to sub out of this unless it's their last character left, but you're using it primarily for the interrupt and the stun and do a combo there. Mystic Ball attack deals a major impact damage, reduces enemy ki by 70 on hit. If you can combo this with the blue card, so they have lower ki recovery, then you lower their ki, you will be able to take advantage of situations like that to kind of outplay your opponent, but I'm not quite sure if he's really better than Cell, especially not against Cell matchups because he has the color weakness. I think Cell still does have the better kit overall, but this is an extremely good top tier, definitely very high up in the list, offensive kit here. His main ability here comes with the Ultimate Arts as well as minus 80% to the enemy key recovery for 15 timer counts. It'd be great to stack that with other key reductive abilities that he has, and he does have the 25-second timer count on that. 22% to Regeneration Blast attack. It's good that he starts with the offensive buff, and when he gets to 5 stars, that will double up to cover Blast defense as well. So he fills a very good niche on the Regeneration team. Very good unit, and will probably be replacing most characters' Janembas, or most people's Janembas on their teams for that purple spot. Janemba's still probably pretty good on the bench, though, if you have him at 5 stars for his defensive stuff that he's got going on. Whereas the strong one, while this character is on the battlefield, the following effects occur when the enemy switches characters, kind of similar to I guess, this passive here. Restores his own vanishing gauge by 40%, 30% to own damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, and 30% to his own key recovery, which will help him maintain that key advantage over the enemy since you'll be debuffing their key so much. Very, very powerful passive here. You just can't control it necessarily. It depends on the enemy and reacting to what they do, but again, still very powerful. And he has down here, I can't let a power greater than mine exist. If 25 timer counts have elapsed since the battle start, the following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield, only activates once. Inflicts all enemies with a tribute downgrade 30% to damage received. That's all enemies, so no swapping out of that, and it lasts 45 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with a tribute downgrade plus 5 to strike and blast arts cost for 45 timer counts. Long time frame, great debuffs here. These are really good. Inflicts all enemies with a tribute downgrade minus 50% to health restoration for 45 timer counts to cut down on those late game heals that Regeneration is known for to keep it on the table. So in a sense, he's not a bad anti-healing / anti-regeneration unit, even though he doesn't specifically have a passive for that. Just the anti-healing and all this other highly offensive stuff he's got going on. Great debuffs. Honestly, I would rather have Super BUU up this banner. If I could cherry pick one, I don't get both. Again, I would rather have Super BUU for now. Fusions is still kind of in the beginning stages of being a team and a possible meta, and Regeneration's pretty well established, and BUU's kit is just disgustingly awesome. Of course, there's as well another Lord Slug, kind of a watered down version of the Slug we already have. Definitely much more defensively oriented. Stats aren't bad. His health is better than both of the new sparking units at 824k, so like what is that, almost 50,000-60,000 higher than them? Attack stats are lower though, and his defensive stats are lower than Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, being they're both defensive units, they're both yellow. So he wins on health but loses on stats overall. Brings red and yellow. His green card destroys all of your own cards, draws 3 new ones, gives you a little buff to your blast attack. This is a watered down version of the sparking super move right here. Basically, it loses the paralyze passive but retains the key reduction. And Evil Namekian restores own key by 30, 40% to key recovery, minus 10 to your ally's blue card cost for 30 seconds. Pretty good supportive ability right there, but you can kind of see the EX nature of this Slug coming out. Again, just a defensive and somewhat watered down version of the sparking one. Still would be decent on the bench, but definitely not better than Cell in any way as your active, regeneration squad. He would definitely end up being a bench in, 9 out of 10 situations, unless you maybe don't have Cell and you really need that yellow card coverage. That would probably be the only situation where I see this card being playable on the active squad. Following effects occur every time he enters the battlefield. He gains Vanishing Recovery, destroys 1 enemy card, and he gets 40% to damage inflicted when he enters the battlefield, and that is canceled every time you get hit by the enemy. So new EX card there. That's everything new, you guys, in terms of the banner. Let's see if we can do some damage. Let's see here. Which one would I rather daily on, since I'm a little low on crystals? We're going to just daily on that and probably blow all 5,000 of these in pursuit of maybe something new. We're just going to skip this here. Glad that wasn't a sparking, honestly, there. We can burn off some of the last little bits of bad luck. Alright, you guys, 999 gimmick going on. We're going to jump in. We'll finish the video out with these 5 multis here. Hopefully your summons are incredibly lucky and you guys get both the new units, everything you may need off this banner. Again, my luck has been somewhat mixed recently, so it would be nice to see some good luck, but I'm not going to keep my fingers crossed, you guys. This game has its ways. No Vegeta showing up there, so probably just EX units here. Still possible a Sparking might show up, but ooh, EX Raditz. Nice first edition unit right there. He's definitely not what I wanted to see. But again, hopefully all your summons have been blessed and going very well. Can we also talk about how the EX Evil BUU has not come back since the banner he showed up on? That's kind of frustrating that there are EX units aplenty, but he's not been in the list. So, our first summon there, not super great, you guys. We did get the Roshi up to 5 stars. It is what it is. 4 chances left for this particular video. Good, we got a nice little error message there. That's always good. And again, I did hit the download all, so we really won't know if anything good is going to happen. It would really be nice to just pull like 4 Super BUUs in one summon. Another little instant Super Saiyan there, but no other good signs. We got the center destruction. More EX units, maybe like 1 or 2 EX units. Another Roshi. And Kid Goten. Alright, and now we can finish up with the hero parade here. Oh, 1 more EX unit. 16. Good, yay. Lots of old stuff. Alright, 3 chances left, you guys. 3 chances left. Hopefully, you guys just like straight up pulled them on you guys' first summons if you guys are investing in this banner. Again, very good units, but regeneration, dang, nothing? Really? Regeneration, already well established, but the anniversary is coming up soon. So some of you may be planning to save for that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Wow, this one's going to be bad also here, huh? No good signs, no Vegeta, we're getting destroyed. Do we get any skip luck? Let's shorten the video a little bit. Skip luck, Kid Trunks to 5 stars. Alright, that was probably on a fake out. I mean, I'll take it for the double buff, but it's really not helpful, you guys. 2 left. Hopefully that Kid Trunks didn't jinx us there. I always see social media posts of people getting like 3 or 4 Sparkings on one pull. It's sad, man. I never see that. I never do. Alright, well, we got a decent amount of pods this time. We're Punch Frieza in the gut. We got gold text with Super Saiyan. There's still Fat BUU and the Gotenks that we need to dodge. Super Saiyan 3. Man, we have a 2 out of 5 shot, you guys. The banner's not watered down by a bunch of extra fluff. So 2 out of 5 chance, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. Gonna be some old stuff here, and there's only gonna be like 1 of them. Just you watch, just you wait. All right, Sparking. All right, we got the Super BUU. He is the one that I did want more, and we got him at 999, so he'll be 3 stars. Oh, another Sparking. Not so useful there. Not super useful there. But I will take the Super BUU, you guys. Again, out of the 2, he's the one that I did want more. So, I'm definitely pleased with that. I am pleased. Took 4,000 to get one of them, though. Hey, we got 7-star Raccoon. I think that's my first member of the Ginyu Force to 7 stars. Alright, 1 left, you guys. We're going to blow it in pursuit of Gotenks or another potential Super BUU. But that was probably it for the luck today, you guys. That was probably it. Hopefully, you guys will get them on the daily summons. Again, if you're not summoning too heavily. This 5,000 is ooh, Spirit Bomb. Okay, I'll take it. I will take it. Nothing new guaranteed on Spirit Bomb, but it's still a Sparking. Alright, Frieza, you die. Give me something good. Give me the Gotenks. Give me the Gotenks. 5,000 stones, clearing the banner, both at 999. That would be great. Fingers crossed, but I don't think it's going to happen, you guys. No, it's Fat BUU. Dang it. Dang it, Fat BUU. I did need him to 5-star him, so now I've got every unit on the banner 5-starred except for the 2 new ones. No Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks though, you guys. Again, we did get the Super BUU. We got him at 999, so I'm going to still consider this a victory in the grand scheme of things. I'm going to train him up so that I can throw him on my version of Regeneration, which sadly still does not have a cell unit on there. The new cell anyway, but we're going to throw that together. Maybe we can showcase him for you this afternoon, later today. I do hope that you guys had amazing luck on all your pulls and you were able to get both of the new units. Maybe I'll revisit this banner, but again, there is that heavy risk of it running right up against not only the next USTS banner, which will have the Metal Cooler and Broly, but first anniversary. So now's the time to maybe consider being somewhat conservative if you're not able to spend a lot of money on the game. Anyway, you guys, I've talked for long enough. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving it a thumbs up. Help spread it out so more people can see the character analysis. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that watches the videos, shares them, puts the word out there, helps me grow. If you're new around here, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you will be notified every time I put out a new Legends video. I try and pump them out pretty regularly, at least, 4 to 7 a week, so hopefully I'll have enough material to keep you reasonably entertained. Maybe playing some Mortal Kombat soon, but there's a lot to do in Legends right now. So until the next video, you guys, I do hope your summons go amazingly well. Let me know down in the comments, did you get treasure? Did you get trashed? Are you salty? Are you happy? What do you think about these units? How do you think they'll impact the meta? I want to know everything that's on your mind. And again, you guys, we'll be seeing you very soon for the next video. Peace out, and you have a great day.